Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday to all of you. It's been a minute since I've been live. I feel like every time I have a moment to hop online, this is my story. So I'm working on doing better, and we're going to have an absolutely phenomenal month of May, complete with live streams, interviews, some really good sauce as we propel and make our way into the summer. Okay. I am excited for everything that's happening. We have the Mamathon conference on the way. We have our mastermind that's in full swing right now. I've been very honored to still be coaching some really amazing one-to-one clients. And I looked up and I said, oh my goodness, I have like 25 clients right now, which is really amazing. And so I wanted to take a moment today to go live and talk about how our focus needs focus. But before I officially get into the swing of everything, I want to make sure that we're live in all the places. I want to make sure that you guys can actually see this because, listen, the way sometimes our permissions and technology work, you don't always get to see all the good stuff. And so I'm excited today to have a few minutes to connect with all of you and to be able to take a deep breath in the meantime as well. Sometimes we feel like we are moving at the speed of light, right? We feel like we are operating at such a high level for multiple time periods in our life. And I want to be able to invite everybody who follows me to do a survey and look for opportunities, look for places to slow down, looking for those places in your life where you can say, you know what, Christina, I want to handle business. I want to do what I need to do, but I also need to create some white space in my life. And the only way that we can really do this is if we have some focus. Okay. So I'm really grateful today for you all who are coming to hang out with us for a little bit. I'm going to make sure that I'm live in our Facebook group as well. And I want to invite you all to give me your thoughts on what areas of your life need some focus, okay? What areas need some focus? If you want to share your thoughts, bring your move from where you are and come over to the Mamathon Diaries Facebook page. If you're on LinkedIn, I can see you on LinkedIn. If you're on Instagram, I can see you there. But if you're on my personal page, sometimes the permissions don't always let me see your comments and your questions. And today I want to have a conversation and I want to really hear from you all as well as we are planning some really amazing things for this year. Okay. So I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to go live here in our Facebook group too. And we're going to talk about focus. And we're going to talk about navigating seasons of your life when maybe focus is challenging to come by. Okay. Hold on. Done. Okay. All righty, y'all. Y'all ready? I'm excited. You may not have your coffee. I have my coffee all the time. It's always close by. And one of the reasons that I like to do this is because it is a literal invitation to slow down for a little while. It is a literal invitation to take a deep breath and make the decisions about how you want to do some things and what areas of your life need a little bit of extra work. Okay. All right. So your focus needs focus. Does your focus need focus? Are you in denial about some of the things that you have been working on? Okay. Over the last several weeks, I have been having some really amazing conversations, both with moms in leadership and also with my clients, with good friends who are all moving in a certain direction. It's the second quarter of the year. It's hard to believe it's May. We're approaching graduation season. And I think the idea of how we're seeing things play out can be a little frustrating for those who are having trouble navigating it, okay? For those who are having trouble navigating it. And most of the time when we are thinking about having some level of focus, having some idea that we need to put our intention towards, you think you're focused when you start. Okay. We all feel like I'm that girl. She's killing the game when we get started. But just like in the book, I don't have it near me, the book, The 12-Week Year, he talks about in that book the emotional cycle of change, the roller coaster ride that we all go on. Okay. Let's see if I can try this group again. The roller coaster ride that we all go on when we decide to become a new person. When we decide that we're going to create something remarkable, that we're going to attempt something we've never attempted before, when we make the decision as a person, as an entity, a part of our goal, we have now decided on the inside, I'm about to become the sis who kills the game. Okay. Now, across the board, when you end up walking certain things out, you're going to ask yourself, am I focused? Am I not? You're going to ask yourself, okay, am I on task? Am I on schedule with the person I said I was going to be? You're going to have to ask yourself some questions about if you're actually doing the things that you said you were going to do. Okay? We got to ask these questions. And a lot of times we end up, good afternoon, a lot of times we end up telling ourselves a story that we're being productive and ambitious and super focused. We have our eyes on the prize when in reality, we're actually struggling to keep up, struggling to maintain. So for a little while today, I just want us to sit with this. I want us to sit with the idea that there are some places in our journey where we are working to keep up, where we are working to elevate or graduate or move forward progressively in things that are sustainable, in ways that are actually sustainable. Okay. Now, when I say your focus needs some focus, okay, I'm not trying to roast you, friend. I'm not trying to roast you. There's no shame attached to the idea that all of us need to adjust our focus sometimes. I don't have any shame for you. Okay. I don't have any malaligned intentions when I make this particular statement. I think though that we need to do a certain type of inventory, a self check-in, okay, a way that we can elevate ourselves in the way that we think over and over again. I think that it's time for us to have these conversations. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys today 3 ways. We're going to talk about 3 ways that you know your focus needs focus. Okay. 3 ways you know your focus needs focus. I want you to grab your coffee cup. If you have a pen close by, you can grab that too. And what we're going to go through for a little while is doing the checks and balances. Taking time to do your personal inventory and ask yourself, am I actually operating at the level that I believe I could be operating at? This is not an encouragement to go into hyperdrive. This is not a push for you to try and quote unquote be all you can be, hustle and race towards an invisible finish line that we all think we ought to get to quickly. This is not what this live is for. Instead, this conversation is to ask yourself, are there some places in my journey where now that I'm halfway through the year, I can tighten it up a little bit. I can tighten it up a little bit, right? I can make the decision that I haven't, in the work that I've been leaning towards, I haven't done what I could have done. I haven't been who I could have been over the past couple of years. I've been messaging with one of my best friends and she's getting back into running. I'm working on getting back into running and, just loving our fitness journey. And as we were talking about that, I said, listen, in this season of my life, your girl needs the tough love. I need you to tell me that this is what needs to happen. Did you do this and this? Are you operating at the level you said you were going to operate at? Okay. All right, let's get into it. Here's how you know your focus needs focus. Here's how you know Your focus needs some focus. All right. Number one, you leave projects half done. You leave projects half done. Now, I don't have shame for those of us who are a work in progress ourselves. Okay. I don't have any fussing for you. If you're like Christina, I want to be this person. I'm a work in progress in this area. And ultimately, I'm growing. I know I'm growing. Okay. I know that this is something that's really, really good for me. I believe in myself. Okay. And I'm just trying to make sure that I do. There we go. Hold on, y'all. There we go. I want to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do when I'm supposed to do it in the way I'm supposed to do it. Okay. But a lot of times we're not that person and we know we're not doing it the way we could be doing it. We know this. Okay. So you leave some projects half done. Now, this could be anything. Somebody said, and I've been noticing this with my clients too, that a lot of us have a societal ADHD. Okay, I think it could be because of the pandemic. It could be digital overload, okay, that happens to us where we start things and then we feel like life is so distracting. Life is detracting from us. So it's hard for us to finish the thing that we start. Has this happened to you? A lot of people are self-diagnosing themselves with ADHD. Has this happened to you? Where you said, you know what, I just can't focus like I used to focus. Oh, Christina, it just feels like it's so overwhelming. I'm just not sure what's happening. And what ends up happening very often is we diagnose ourselves. We diagnose ourselves with ADHD. We didn't even have to go see a therapist. We just know based off of the Instagram slides that I've seen when I Googled it, this definitely resonated for me. This must be who I am. And sometimes it is actually societal pressures, environmental pressures, digital distractions that pop up on the scene and tell us, you know what? I started this and now I have developed a habit of starting things and then stopping. One of my clients owns a cleaning service and I love her. She's so phenomenal. Her name is Jamil. And every now and then I'm like, Jamil, I need you to come to my house and get this joint together. Okay. And when I do that, I know as a person, I am totally 1,000% capable of cleaning my own house. The problem is I get distracted. Hey, ladies, the problem is I get distracted. Okay. I have 5, for those of you who are just meeting me or you haven't seen us live in a long time, because I am a productivity coach, I'm a full-time life coach. Okay. I don't do it as a hobby. This is not like, oh, I sometimes coach people. I have a remarkable arsenal of women who are changing the world, and I coach them all day, every day. Okay. So it's not like, and in addition to this wonderful coaching, we're planning a conference that's in September. I'll tell more about that in a few minutes. And then coaching, conference, I do advocacy work, I do corporate speaking, trainings and workshops, and I homeschool my 5 children and I have to be their chauffeur. There's a lot of things happening here. So there are these moments in my life, where I'm like, you know what? I could get this thing done, but it is not the most lucrative thing for my time. In order for me to finish this project, I might have to hire out. Sometimes that's having Jamil come to the house. Sometimes I pay my teenagers. I got 3 teenagers. Sometimes I'm like, hey, this extra project that you don't have to do because it's not a chore, but I still need it done. You come here. And so what happens sometimes is a sign that we are lacking focus. A sign that our focus needs some focus is you got a lot of projects. We love starting new stuff. You got a lot of projects, friend, that are strewn about. I don't know if you guys can see. My husband is a pastor. Y'all can see a fraction of the books in our house, a fraction. There are there are 4 more bookcases in this house, okay, where we have made learning a habit here in the Garrett house. But the question is always, when you have so many options, some of us have ideas and businesses and goals as expansive, that's a good word, expansive as the books that are sitting around the Garrett house. No wonder it's hard for you to focus. No wonder. Which one is the most important? Which one is going to change our life the soonest? Which one is going to produce fruit as quickly as possible? Which one is it going to be? Okay. So what we end up doing a lot of times is we are spread so thin, similar to Christina trying to organize certain things in her home. You know what? I have learned to do a room and move on to something else and then move on to something else. It has to be systematic. It has to be. Okay. So some of us, we have projects, ideas, goals, elements of our vision that are ideas that have to come to life, but they are so expansive, it's hard for us to focus on the ones that are going to be the most lucrative. Okay. So the first way you know your focus needs focus, you leave projects half done. Okay. Number 2, you confuse movement with progress. Okay. You confuse movement with progress. I was telling a friend of mine this a couple weeks ago. I said, I'm not being as intentional as I need to be in a specific area. And she said, well, I think based on the outside looking in, I see you doing this and this and this, and you got your clients and you're working on all these different things. I said, you're not wrong. You're completely correct. But the issue is there are certain things that are requiring more intention from me than before, right? They're requiring more intention. So what can happen, what can happen sometimes is as we're working on that and building through all of these things, we end up moving so much, but it's not actually adding to our progress. We're doing a lot of things. We're moving around. It's happening. Oh, I'm so busy. I remember somebody, no, she's not a client, because honestly, if she was a client, this wouldn't be her answer. But she was asking me about certain things related to coaching. And then she was like, well, I understand. And then I did answer her the question she had. And then she was like, I got to get back to work. I'm just so busy. I just got to get back to work. I got to get back to working. And it felt, just even through our messages, it felt such a hustle was attached. Okay. Like such a hustle. You get in and you're racing, trying to catch the train, trying to catch the bus, trying to hurry up and get to this destination or to this result. It felt like a lot of hustle was attached to it. Now, I'm not against you jumping in the lake and handling your business. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a certain level of feeling, a level of urgency that is internally created, as though if you don't step up to the plate right now, you will miss it. If you don't step up right now, you're going to miss it. So you post incessantly to talk about your business. You are always tweaking something. That website, okay? Those purging your Instagram, okay? Going into all of your recordings and past classes and all things, binging podcasts and courses and classes and somebody's last decade worth of Facebook lives, hoping to pick up that one thing that's going to carry you further. So what ends up happening is you're always moving, but you're not progressing. And one of the things that I told my clients, this is a couple weeks ago, I said, all that really matters, no matter how you feel about this or how you feel, if you agree or not, I said, the only thing that really matters is done. Like in this community, whether you're a client yet or not, all that matters here in this community is doneness. All that matters in the world is what you have done. We love you for intentions. We love you for this big idea, for this goal, for this movement that you're creating. I cannot tell you how many people want to collaborate, right? Which I love working together with other dope women. But I like women who are moving forward. Not those who are like, yeah, any day now I'm going to launch this. Wait a second. We've had intentions for years. We've planned to do certain things for years. And what happens for us a lot of times is we will confuse I'm making progress, I'm being productive with the busy work. Now, we have not yet, you and I, sat down and talked about what you're working on, your projects, how you want to be a speaker, a coach, a consultant, a change maker, a leader, start that community, begin doing corporate talks, whatever those things are, host events, all this stuff, whatever you want to do more media work. I don't know everything that everybody here is working on. I can just speak from the hundreds of women that I've been honored to coach. And say, you know what? I see in us how we love to be moving. I see in us how we love to do, to race, to implement. But then what happens on the other side of it is it's not always the thing that's going to change our lives. It's not always the thing that's going to be exponentially different. It's not what's putting you out into the world. And ultimately, at the end of the day, and I say this with love, all that really matters is what you have finished. I told my clients last night, we're on our mastermind call, and I said, ladies, I love y'all, right? They're my girls. I said, but at the end of the day, we can't take your hopes and intentions to the bank, right? And I say this in quotations. We can't take that to the bank. Like, it's not something we can do anything with. At the end of the day, what matters is not the intention for you to send the email, the intention for you to plan this, the intention for you to launch this or reach out to so-and-so. The intention is great, but the intention is internal. And even if we have all different kind of ladies who are entrepreneurs, leaders, educators, therapists. We have an architect in there. We have all different types of women. And all of them are doing different type of things that are very progressive. And I'm like, but at the end of the day, if it stays in your mind, if it stays in your journal, I have like a dozen of these when I do discovery calls, client calls and everything. If it stays in here, at the end of the day, it's like we can't check that off and say that's done. We can't ask God to bless work that hasn't been finished. And then beyond that, on a productivity scale, you cannot troubleshoot, make better, shift, or tweak what you have not completed. Everybody let that simmer. You cannot, give me the thumbs up, you cannot troubleshoot, adjust, fix, pivot from, learn from what you haven't finished yet. If it's still pending, if it's still one day I'm going to, or I did it, but I didn't walk the process all the way through, that version of you, the start, stop, rinse, repeat, I'm motivated. This week, I'm not motivated. Next week, I'm going to do it. This week, I feel horrible. I'm in the lowest value thinking process that I've ever been in, and I just stopped. I just said, I need to take a break. Okay? We start to feel negative emotions, and we feel like God is calling us to a season of rest. Wait a minute. Did he tell you to move forward and do what he said to do, or did he tell you to rest? And my question is, when we talked, and this is April, so I'm making this up, but a lot of women, they come in February, they say, God told me to do this. And then they come back later when it gets challenging, when it gets hard, we feel like it's a lot. And then we say, well, I feel like God is just calling me to a time of stillness. Which one is it? Did you finish what he told you to do the last time? And that's how you know you're in a season of stillness? You've completed that task? Or are we giving up too soon? So number one, you leave projects half done. Number two, you confuse movement with progress. You posting, tweaking stuff, planning things, resetting, saying God is calling me into a season of stillness. When I talked to you last month, he was calling you to a season of launching and expansion, but then this month is something different. Wait a minute. I'm not judging. I just got questions. I just have some questions. That's it. No judgment, just questions. So let's go to number three. Number three is, this is how you know your focus needs focus, okay? You battle shiny object syndrome, okay? Now we have, I want to make sure I get me a good Googleable, okay? I want to give me a good Googleable definition for shiny object syndrome. Hold on. I want you all to have a good AI definition. Okay, it is the tendency, shiny object syndrome, is the tendency to be easily distracted by new and exciting opportunities or ideas, often abandoning your current tasks or goals in pursuit of the latest novelty. This can lead to lack of focus, unfinished projects, and a feeling of never quite achieving long-term goals. Woo-wee! Now, wait a minute. Okay, let me just sit, get myself. So, when we have shiny object syndrome, when we have SOS, I'm going to call it SOS for our time together. When new things pop up, we start to get excited by, pulled towards the new things. We start to feel like, surely this will be the progressive thing that will get me moving. We also start to feel like, on accident, subconsciously, we feel like this route will be easier. We feel like if I go this way instead of this way, this will be easier. I've been sitting with this one way for an extended period of time. It feels like a lot. It's starting to feel a little heavy. Hold on, y'all. Ugh, not allergies. Golly. All right, it starts to feel like a lot. And because it starts to feel like a lot, we end up boycotting the thing that we were told to do in the last season that we probably did not complete. The idea, the plan, in a chasing of excitement, of a euphoric feeling, instead of leaning into our strategy. Okay. I need to sit with this, right? We need to sit with this for a little bit. Shiny object syndrome. And for those who are just joining, I'm gonna read this again, because maybe you need to feel like this could be on accident me. Shiny object syndrome, the tendency to be easily distracted by new and exciting opportunities or ideas. I would say, ring, ring, somebody calls you on the phone. And they're like, oh my goodness, Christina, I really feel like you will be amazing for this. But you're in a season of focus where you're really building out what you're building out. And maybe I don't want to come off the wall like Nehemiah, right? I don't want to come off the wall to go and tend to these other matters. It actually takes, thank you, Deborah. It actually takes the sitting with this instead to say, you know what? This is not for me, but this is. My therapist clients, I have had the honor, even as a coach, we don't war coaching against therapy in this space because it's ludicrous. I have been honored to coach 5 or 6 different therapists, psychologists, licensed counselors over the last couple of years. And they will tell you about the dopamine hit that you get when you start a new project. Oh, this is so exciting. This is so thrilling. Until it gets challenging, until it's hard to keep up with, right? And so we go through that feeling every time we start something new. Every time we lean into this idea, we start to feel like, you know what, maybe the challenge that's coming with this idea must mean it's not for me. Hey sis, how you doing? The challenge that's coming with this must mean it's not for me. So we switch. We didn't even get the opportunity to walk it out to its fullness. We didn't even get the moment to say, you know what? Here's what worked. Here's what did not work. Here's what I'll do differently between this time and the next time. Most of us, when it doesn't feel like we thought it would feel, or you got results that you did not desire, there might not even be a next time. You're not going to go try again if it didn't work out like you thought. You're just going to say, you know what? I did this one time. I didn't see the result that I wanted to see. It must not be for me. God must be calling me to pivot, hallelujah, in another way. So when I talk to you in February, you're like, girl, God told me to do all of this. Then when I follow up again later, you say, God's calling me to a season of stillness. I'm sorry. I'm confused. Maybe you're confused too. God has not yet told me, put down your work, come off the wall, and go lay down for 3 to 6 months. He ain't said that to which one of us? Matter of fact, when you look in Proverbs, and we talk about sleeping, everybody wants to do ease and flow. Everybody wants to do, if it costs me my peace, it's too expensive. This vibe, if it costs me my peace and I'm getting rid of everything that costs me my peace, Sister Snyder, where my kids gonna live at? They take my peace every day. Where they gonna live, y'all? Where the children gonna live? And how did God give you this vision? You went to the goal workshop with First Lady Snyder. You made your vision board. Hallelujah. You spoke in tongues over it. You laid it with oil. You put all this oil on it. You said you're going to do all these things. God is telling me in the spirit, I'm going to do all this stuff. And then we get to Q2 and he's calling you to a season of rest where I just need to reset and figure out what's happening next. No, baby, you decided to come off the wall. It started to feel heavy. Maybe you weren't emotionally regulated enough to carry that. Maybe you didn't have the capacity that you needed to be wife, mom, ministry leader, community founder, homeschooling parent. If you are one, entrepreneur, work a 9 to 5, find a 6-pack and throw it back on your husband at nighttime. Maybe you didn't have the capacity for that. That's something that has to be developed. That's developed over time. And somewhere in here, we thought that when we made the vision board, the skills came with the vision board. It does not. It does not. The skills don't come in the planner. The implementation does not come in the planner. I told my clients in the mastermind, I have one-to-one clients, y'all, now. And I'm like, listen, every year I show up to coach y'all. Hey, everybody. Every year I show up to coach you all. You guys get a different version of the information because I, Christina, am different every year that I go to teach it. Every single year. Every year that I show up to the party, I'm different because I am intentionally putting myself in the hot seat as the experiment every year. I'm like, man, we about to, woo, Charlene, this conference budget, bigger numbers than I've ever seen. Who does 3 all-you-can-eat meals at a conference weekend, at a hotel? We catering. We not doing we do all-you-can-eat, okay? I'm talking about like seafood and everything. We light it up. And so I'm sitting here looking like, wow, this is interesting. So who do I need to be to have all of this fully sponsored? Who does Christina need to be? And I was telling my clients, I said, when you all come back, I hope they come back for the mastermind next year. The person that will teach that information, the person that's teaching sponsorships this year, right? Teaching media and proposals and all of this. I have tools in my toolbox this year, hi Charnay, that I didn't have last year. Every single year that I show up to teach every new client, yeah, girl, I'm choosing. she said, I'm long enough because you chose violence today. I did. But you do too. Women who are called to change the world, who are empowers and are supposed to shake things up, and you're supposed to go all the way. That woman, oh my gosh, we choose violence every day. One of my clients, she has an international bookkeeping agency. She got 4 kids. She got a nanny. She one of them mamas, okay? And one of the things I told her was, you signed up for this. I know, I understand these are problems. I understand you're creating new problems. I understand this is challenge. Baby, you signed up for this. You choose violence all day. I was like, I do too. Ain't nobody making me host hundreds of women at a conference. Nobody's forcing me to do this. It is the most amazing act of love to bring all of you all together to create magic. This is literally what we do. September 26th through the 28th in Atlanta. Okay. If you want details, put the word conference in the chat. I will get back with you. Okay. Put conference in the chat and we'll make sure you get an invitation and a discount code. Okay. Aside from all of these things, every time I show up to coach women, when I show up to say, what do you want to create? What's stopping you from creating that? Most of the time, we know what we want to do. We know how we want to do it. We know what we want to do. We know why we want to do it. We don't know the how. We don't know the how. That's where we get like this in between, this kind of in and out, sort of kind of sometimes. I told a sister who booked a discovery call, she's an educator. And I was like, every time you're in and out, your results will be inconsistent too. Every time you're undecided, every time you wait for like the perfect circumstances, or you're kind of, I'm in a season of waiting. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, there are seasons, there's be still and know that I am God. And then there's like, you didn't do what God told you to do the last time. So I'm in a season of waiting until God gives me a new word that I feel better about. I'm sorry. This is just not how this works. Like, I love y'all. This is not how it works. If I was sometimey, there's no way the momentum that is being created. And I'm going to act up the entire month of May. Y'all hear me? The whole month of May, I'm acting up. I told my husband, I said, I'm live streaming every day in May. He said, all right, except Sunday, because I'll be at church. I said, I'm live streaming every day in May. He said, for real? I said, yes. I said, I want to talk to my people. Because we have a lot of new people but they haven't heard the pillars, like the foundational principles of girl, act up and get your results. So here are the 3 ways you know your focus needs focus. Number 1, you leave projects half done. You know who you are. Some of us are seeking the 7 streams of income. We got this happening, that happening, all these things. In theory, Mamathon has 4 streams, okay? In theory. But it is still underneath my one umbrella. So I have one-to-one and group coaching, okay? The mastermind does not open up again until after the conference. But if you want coaching, right, throughout the remainder of this year, then you can reach out to me in Messenger. We'll set up a time to talk, okay? So there's one-to-one coaching and group coaching. That's number 1. Number 2 is the conference, which is tens of thousands of dollars, its own package, its own offer. It's just a whole separate thing, okay? Then we have number 3 is I am a corporate consultant, a corporate speaker. So I do a lot of speaking work, the Housing Authority, Hyatt Hotels. I've done filming with Essence Magazine. I've done a whole bunch of different like speaking related things. So I am a speaker, right? That is number 3. And then number 4 is I am a paid advocate. Hello, how you doing? I'm a paid advocate. So I have brought in tens of thousands of dollars as a paid ambassador for educational organizations where they want people, especially women who are leaders who look like you and I, to say, you know what, because we are fans of educational choice, right? We're a homeschooling family. They want more families to say in a concise and clear way, this is what we value. So Mamathon has four parts to it. They are all different streams, but they are underneath one umbrella. Everybody got that? They're underneath one umbrella. And what happens for a lot of us is we don't want a couple things under one umbrella. We want to have 5 different umbrellas so that everybody knows how amazing we are. Stop it. So the same person that is like, oh, I just love, I'm an author. I'm gonna grab a book. I'm an author. And also, in addition to being an author, I sell candles. And do you need life insurance? We got life insurance for you. And also, I make the tumblers, because I got my Starbucks tumbler over here. I make tumblers and t-shirts, and I can fix your brakes. When in reality, we could take just being an author and make it into something. Author, speaker, coaching on what you wrote about. Like, it could just be the one thing, right? So I look a lot of times, and it's why some of us feel or seem so spread out and so all over the place, is because we have to lean into the opposite, which is focus. So number 1, you leave projects half done. Number 2, you confuse movement with progress. Some of us love to be busy. Let me tell y'all something funny before I review number 3. I have several clients just in the last week who came to me and said, Christina, I feel like I'm doing nothing. I was like, well, how is this possible? Like, you work a full-time job, you have a business, you have children, you have this, you have that. They were like, but I feel like there's this empty space in my life now that I'm not doing all this extra stuff. I feel like there's supposed to be something there. And I was like, well, sister friend, I want to congratulate you, because this means coaching is working in your life. You're supposed to have empty space. You're supposed to have space in your life where you're not constantly thinking all the time about all the things. You're supposed to have time where you lay on top of your laundry pile. Maybe that's just in my house, on my couch. There's always some laundry. I go and I lay on top of my laundry pile and chill. Okay. That's what I go and do. and lay with my children and watch TV at the end of the evening, and I close my laptop and I make my brain turn off and create open space. I take an hour or an hour and a half, multiple days a week to exercise and go walking and listen to a podcast and just breathe. Like, just breathe. There should be space in your life where there is nothing. Just white space, open space, margin. And so what happens is some of us feel like because we are moving around a lot, we are being progressive. And in reality, you're not being progressive. In reality, you're just confusing busyness with forward movement. Okay? What are the busy things? You go to post on social, you forget, an hour later, you've been scrolling. The election stuff, my homegirl at Essence, I emailed her about doing an interview. She will be doing an interview May or June, so y'all stay tuned for that. But I emailed her. She's one of the editors at Essence, and she was like, since the election, I've just pulled back. She's like, I felt her. I'm gonna email her back and tell her, I feel you. Like, you cannot just be on there. It sucks you in to the drama and the who said what and how the world is falling apart. And I just can't be here for this. I can't do it. So we have to be the person who pulls it back and says, you know what? I have to be progressive. I can't just make moves. I can't just make moves. I can't just do. I have to make sure that instead I am settling myself. Okay. So this is when we're just tweaking things, just one more thing where we're trying to announce something big and we got to just fix a couple more things. And, let me go look at my website again. And even though you've signed clients without a website, now all of a sudden that's the issue. That's the thing that is keeping you from being great. We can fine tune this. And then number 3, you battle shiny object syndrome, where you have a new idea, a new goal, a new plan. It pulls you in. And some of us are addicted to the dopamine hit that comes after we start something new. You know the feeling of, they say that's one of the reasons social media is addictive, is because when people like or comment or share or do the things that they do, in a response, it gives us there's something exciting and new to go look at, right? It just happens. But then when we go to look for this evidence, this excitement in our day-to-day journey, in our day-to-day work, when it starts to get a little boring, that's when I actually say you're on your way to something really big. When it starts to feel like, Christina, I'm just doing the same thing again. I know, baby. I know you're doing the same thing again. That's okay. I know you're doing it again. I know you got to show up and go live. One of my friends, she was like, get it together. I'm like, you know what? You're right. Let me go ahead. I got things to talk about today. When you lack focus, every good idea feels like a good idea. Every time somebody calls you about something new, they feel like the Lord wanted me to tell you this. And then you take on what other people have, and then you start running with it. Wait a second. Flag on the play. Flag on the play. I have had clients who were excited and loving the work that they're doing. And then something pops up that's like, oh, I really feel like I should host an event. I cannot tell y'all, hi, Annie. I know I need to go live more often. Y'all got me back, okay? Thanks for being here. I've been telling them, like, listen, I have been the Debbie Downer. I have been the coach who was like, Christina, I'm going to have a conference. And I said, okay, the Mamathon conference cost $50,000. Are you prepared? I know you guys see me getting sponsors. I've had the same event for the last 10 years. I don't have glittery object syndrome. I don't jump from idea to idea. So I get text messages from government officials who say, hi, send me an invoice for a sponsorship To God be the glory. I don't have glittery object syndrome. I don't jump from thing to thing to thing. So people can trust me when it's time for something big. Oh, Christina's going to produce. When it comes to doing media work, okay, my clients know they have a coach that will put them on. One of my clients just got her second or third Forbes feature. Hey, Alex. She just got another Forbes feature. I tagged her on Instagram. I said, hey, because I know the writer. I said, hey, I know you need a psychologist. Can Dr. Shanae, will she work? I know you know her already. Y'all have done some work together. She said, oh, yeah, absolutely. 1 second. Boom, she got the spot. Clients get in Pop Sugar, Essence Magazine, Forbes. I'm like, listen, they know when it's time. Homegirl at Essence was like, Christina always knows somebody who's good for the article. And I do. But they know I'm not jumping around from thing to thing to thing. If I decided to shut down Mamathon tomorrow, y'all gonna see me pop up as the creative director of a maternal health nonprofit. I'm not about to just boycott who I am, my passion as a person. And that's what some of us do. We have ideas, we have notions, we have excitement that is ready to create monumental, exponential change in the world. But we start, we stop, we pivot, we reset. We say, God is calling me to a season of quiet. Then we go back over here and then we start doing all the things. Then it has to be perfect. Then we struggle with imposter syndrome because so-and-so is a coach and she coaches moms. And I coach moms. So now I feel some kind of way because we do the same thing when in reality we don't do the same thing. A lot of times we have to rein it in. My clients come, Christina, I'm going to have a conference. The Mamathon conference costs $50,000. Are you prepared that if you don't get a sponsor for this event to pay it out of pocket? And they're like, you know what? Let me go back and pray. Let me go back and pray again. Okay, good. Don't do it because you saw me do it. I've been doing this for a decade. September 26th through the 28th in Atlanta. If you want to pull up, put conference in the chat. Okay. So you can come hang out with the divas. It is a time. It's like church, but like bring your fan and all of the best things. I'll be walking around, be hugging everybody. I'm taking selfies. We shopping. It will change your life. Not kidding. It will change your life. We would love to have you come and join us last weekend in September. Okay. Just put conference in the chat. I will reach out to you with a discount code too. But I think sometimes what happens is we're looking for the exhilaration and we don't know how to turn off our brains. Okay. Thank you, Shauna. We don't know how to turn our brains off and focus on the thing that is the most impactful and the thing that is going to monumentally change the game for us. Okay. We don't know how to do that. That's a learned skill. Enlarging your capacity to scale your business and earn more, govern your time so you rest more, discipline yourself so you show up more consistently, prioritize what matters so you're present for your family like you're supposed to be. Like, to be that person, that takes a level of yesness that we just have to be okay with doing. We got to be okay with doing that added lifting. It is not hard to do. It's very simple, but it's not always easy. And for those of us who are like, team ease and flow, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us are like, if it costs me my piece, it's too expensive. This is what life I need to be living. Where are the goals that transform you into who you're supposed to be? That version. My girl Shanae said, you say it with so much joy. I feel joy. Like even as I plan the conference and I'm like, oh, this is just so big and it feels big and I'm excited about what's going to happen. Inside, I already see all of you. Like inside, internally, I can see 200 beautiful women in colorful clothes, full of laughter and joy. Our my guy Glenn, he always comes and he leads worship as we start the conference. And there are some women who are just taking a deep breath and embracing the stillness. And then there are some others. There have been women in the back of the room with tears rolling down their face because this is the first time that they've been able to take a deep breath in years. And there are some who are just holding somebody. They don't even know these women. They're just putting their arms around somebody else. There are those who will have goals and dreams reignited as a result of coming to the event. There are those that are going to get their projects funded as a result of coming to the event. There are women who are like, I just needed to see somebody else do it so I could believe that I could do it. Christina was willing to take the risk and go first. That's where I'm at. That's where I am. So when I see that internally, I know, oh, we can't do this start stop situation. We can't do this sometimes yes, sometimes no. I don't feel like it today. We got to lean in and do that work. We got to be willing to do it. Okay. So here's how you know your focus needs focus. You leave projects half done, you start and stop. You confuse movement with progress. You're doing more of what feels good than what is good for you, for your family, for your business. And then number 3, you got a little shiny object syndrome, friend, where when you have new ideas, new plans that come, you want to implement them right away instead of how do they fit into my existing strategy, my existing timeline. Okay? How do they fit in? What needs to happen in order for this to work? Okay? I'm going to wrap up in the next 2 minutes. Here's your call to action. There are 2 of them. Okay. The first one is the Mamathon conference is coming September 26th through the 28th. It is an experience that will change your life. I wish I'm lying. I wish it could be based off of my opinion, but it's not. The ladies that attend the event say this is something I've never been in a room with women who are leaders, who love God, who love their families, who take their goals seriously, but it's filled with so much love. No mean girl energy, no drama, just nothing but a sense of love wrapped around you, okay? Strategy, you get your questions answered, you get the cheat code, you get the hack, you get to understand where you need to go next. Hi, Marquita. You got to get the replay. Please come back for the replay. So that's what we're building this year. It's our 10th anniversary, the 10th year. My goal is to bring everybody who's been watching, everybody who's attended in the past for this year. So if you've been like, Christina, I know I need to be there. This is your time. This is your year for you to join us. Okay. The tickets are literally for your catering. Like we're doing 3 meals throughout the weekend. It's literally the investment for you to come and eat. There's no crazy upcharges. It is for whoever wants to be there. So September 26th through the 28th, if you're interested in joining us, grab a girlfriend, grab a sister friend. And Charnay said, this is my year. Yes. Grab a sister friend and put conference in the comments or DM me after this is over so you can join us. Okay. In my last 45 seconds, I'm about to knock this thing out. There is also an invitation open as the mastermind will be winding up very soon. I'm taking one-to-one clients, okay? And the ladies who are a part of our community all attend the conference for free. It's a part of their coaching. We do a Friday VIP day where you all join me in the presidential suite and we coach together on capacity and goals the entire day. We go eat together. It's a vibe. And then you also get to experience the conference as the bougie privileged client opportunity that you have. But most importantly, the goal behind partnering with us through purpose-driven productivity is for you to see your goals in a very real way. For you to understand, you know what, Christina, there's a lot of things that I want to accomplish. I know why I want to do it. I know what I want to accomplish. I can see it in my mind, but somewhere along the way, there's a disconnect. It could be my perfectionism. It could be trauma from having tried before and then something happened. And so I'm nervous about trying again. It could be that I've done it before. It didn't work out. So I can't tell you how many ladies have come to me and they're like, Christina, I have coach hurt. You know how some people got church hurt? They have coach hurt because they partner with somebody and that person vanished on them. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. Okay. Our goal as a part of the Mamathon movement is to take where you are, envision clearly where you are going, and give you the tools that you need to get there. Okay. It is for the women who know that they have value to give the world. It is not for women who don't feel like they're called to be a leader. And this is not any slight to anybody, but I've had clients in the past who sometimes want to show up in a phenomenal way. And then sometimes they're like, yeah, I don't really think I want that life. And that's okay. If you don't feel sold that you're a change maker. This coaching is for women who are changing communities. This coaching is for women who are growing businesses and running for public office, and they're getting their masters and doctorates. They are determined and degreed. They are elevators, right? They are starting nonprofits. They have nannies. They're women who are like, you know what, Christina, I feel so powerfully in my heart that this vision I have is going to change people's lives. I want to work with a coach who will help me not give up on myself this time. I want to show up with confidence, even when my sinuses are bothering me. I want to show up determined. I want to overcome my inconsistency. I want to be passionate about my work again. I don't want to be burned out. I saw somebody post the other day and I love the person's content, but she was like, stop calling your people burned out. I don't need to call y'all burned out. Y'all tell me y'all are burned out. You guys tell me, Christina, I'm exhausted. You guys say, Christina, these kids running me. Christina, I don't know how I'm going to pull this off. I just know I want to. Christina, I want to know, how did you get in this Essence magazine 6 times? How do you do that? Do you have a publicist? I don't. How'd you do that? I know how to pitch well. So we walk you from the inception of your idea, the vision of your goal, and my clients turn into media powerhouses. They just turn into media powerhouse. They're on TV. They're in Forbes and Essence. They're securing sponsorships too, corporate, government, contracts too, because they become resilient women who don't give up. And my focus this year is partnering with more women who have that in mind. If I got to pull you to see yourself as a leader, I want you to say, I already am a leader. I know I'm a leader. I know this idea is going to change people's lives. I'm willing to go first and jump. But when my mind plays tricks on me, when my perfectionism starts to show up and get after me, that's when I need that powerful coaching to bring me back to where I was. I will teach you everything I know. My feedback on partnership proposals, sponsorships, you name it, is that they've never seen anything like it. I've done my homework so that I could teach my clients better. Okay, so I can help elevate you all to where you want to go. So you know, without a shadow of a doubt, there's this cushy mat of assurance, certainty, confidence, determination, waiting for me, holding me up while I go to do the big thing. While I go become this person that I've never been before, but I'm excited to be her. Okay? So as I wrap up, come to the conference. Be a part. Soak it in. right? Soak in the goodness. The mastermind will open up after the conference is over. If you're like, hey, listen, I want to be in that, more power to you. But for those of us who aren't waiting until January, for those of us who know the current year has some really powerful stuff waiting, for those of us who are like, I'm starting today, I'm picking up the momentum today, then this is for you. Okay? That's it. I'm going live again tomorrow. Okay? I don't know what time yet, but I'll post about it so y'all know. Tomorrow's Thursday. I'll probably do it in the evening at 8 p.m. Central Time. Okay? So you all can join me again. We'll do another installment. I think it's the first day of May. So we're sticking with focus, consistency, mompreneurship, leadership all month long. So because of that, we're going to be just showing up and really leaning into what we need to succeed. Okay. Conference, message me. Coaching, message me. If you have questions about coaching, send a message. Okay. Don't assume anything about yourself, right? Let's see if we're a good fit to work together. Let's just see if we're a good fit. Okay. Because my ladies are changing the world. And if you're a world changer, if you're like one of those dope moms who want to shake the planet up, then this is definitely the place where you should be. All right. That's it for today. I love you guys. Thank y'all so much for being with me and hanging out with me for the last hour. We're going to get ready to head to Bible study. But what an honor it is to hang out with you guys. And I will see you all tomorrow evening.